Alright, the one thing I forgot to show you guys, so last time I wanted to talk to this guy right here because he has some pretty interesting dialogue. It seems pretty vague right now, but that's actually some pretty interesting foreshadowing for some background on a certain character we'll meet later. Alright, we need to go this way. And this is where the hideout is for Avalanche. Barrett's gonna kick everybody out of the bar. Alright, let's talk to a couple people here. I like going through this conversation because it kind of illuminates a little bit the morality behind what Avalanche is doing. You know, they may think they're doing the right thing, but a lot of innocent people died because of that explosion. So it kind of brings up the, you know, it questions the motives, or I guess, you know, it questions the justification of what they're doing. Okay, so we have a new character here. This is Tifa. We're going to get to know Tifa pretty well here in this episode, so hope you have some popcorn, viewers, because this episode is going to contain a lot of exposition. Also a lot of explanation on my part of how Materia system works and equipment and battles and things like that. Okay, so right here you have a choice to either give the flower to Tifa or to Marlene. If you want to date Tifa later in the game, give it to her. If you want to give it to, or if you want to date Barrett, give it to Marlene. I'm not going to be dating either of them, but just from, you know, my experience playing the game and having seen Advent Children, I assume Cloud would probably give the flower to Marlene rather than Tifa. Alright, at this point, just try to walk out, and Barrett will come busting through the door. I'm assuming this is an adopted daughter of Barrett's. Alright, before going down there to talk about the next mission, let's go over here and talk to Tifa. Okay, once again, you have a choice. If you select Give Me Something Hard, it's gonna boost Tifa's affection for you, so I have a feeling Cloud would probably say something more like this. Alright, let's head downstairs. Oh, downstairs. Down this elevator. Alright, so this is the hideout. You see some plans here on the table. Let's see what's on TV. Alright, so the president of Shinra has mobilized Soldier. That's I guess the faction that Cloud used to belong to. So, looks like the next mission's gonna be a little tougher than the last one. Sometimes the animations look a little funny between the original character models and these higher quality ones. He just helped you blow up a freaking reactor. Like, why would you think he wants to go back to Shinra? I like that right there. It's pretty funny. Uh-oh. There we go. It's kind of an interesting decision that Square made to have a lead character who was so, like, not only apathetic here in the beginning, but just kind of a jerk overall. Like, just, you know, going around proclaiming he doesn't care about anyone or anything. There's a lot of people out there who don't like Cloud as a character, and I understand why, because of the way he acts here in the beginning of the game. But he does change. He does evolve quite a bit by the end, don't worry. He's kind of more of an anti-hero here at the beginning. Okay, so we have another selection here. If you say, how can you say that? It's gonna boost Tifa's affection. If you say sorry, then obviously it won't do that. So I actually believe he would probably say this. And I know it seems like I'm just saying all the things that piss Tifa off, but honestly, I feel like that's what Cloud would be doing here at the beginning of the game. It seems to be what his character's all about. Alright, pay close attention to the color of Cloud's eyes in this scene. You see, Tifa's are kind of red, and Cloud's are really blue. Might be kind of hard to see from here, but he has a different eye color. It's easier to see in the original game when the character models are a little bigger. At least their heads are a lot bigger. Alright, so this is the first mention of Sephiroth. He's a very important character in this game. The information we get on him at this point is just that he's apparently the greatest soldier in the soldier program. And Cloud seems to idolize him. Wait. Okay, if I understand this correctly, she wants to be put in like a life-threatening situation and be rescued from it? That's a little bit weird. I like that line there, you know, in context with what they were talking about. That's not very much money for, I don't know, such a high-risk job that they did. I mean, I wouldn't know anything about how much terrorists expect to get paid, but I assume it'd be a little bit more than that. Even 3,000 seems low. I guess money's pretty hard to come by for people down here in the slums. What, they don't have public schools in Midgar? You gotta pay for schooling? Alright. Now it's time to explain a whole lot of stuff. Let's head back upstairs real quick. We'll have kind of a short dialogue. And then I got a lot of stuff to explain. Here's another option. If you choose next to you who wouldn't, that boosts Tifa's affection. If you select this one, Barrett's snoring kept me up, it will boost Barrett's affection. I'm going to choose this one. Alright, so Tifa's going to come with us for this expedition. And we're going to be heading to the Sector 5 reactor. Now, Barrett is actually going to ask Cloud to explain how to use Materia to him. This is basically a tutorial, and you can choose whether to go through it or not. For the sake of time, I'm going to not go through the tutorial, but if you want to see how the game explains it, just say, okay, I'll explain. But I'll explain it to you guys here in just a second. And apparently there's a guy at the weapon shop who wants to talk to us before we leave. And before we go, they're going to put a child in charge of running a bar. Okay. That makes perfect sense. And she's a young child too. She's like no older than 10 years old. There's no way she should be running a bar. Let's talk to this guy real quick. We're gonna buy some materia from this guy. Okay, so shops work the same way as they do in other Final Fantasy games. You can buy or sell equipment. Today we're going, he sells potions and Phoenix Downs and things, and fire and ice materia as well as the restore materia. We only need one restore materia for now, but we do want to buy 2 more lightning materia because most, well I shouldn't say most, but there are quite a few enemies in the Midgar area of the game that are weak to lightning, so we're going to want everybody in the party to have lightning materia. Oh, I should also probably bring up that in this game, you only ever have a party of 3. So it's a little bit different than the Final Fantasy games before this, which usually had 4. In Final Fantasy IV, you got 5. But in this game, you can only have 3 party members at a time. So, alright, let's talk to this guy. This is the equipment shop. What are you talking about? I just walked in. They're threatening their customers? That doesn't seem like a very good idea. Okay, we want to buy 3 iron bangles. These are, well, armor and equipment works a little bit differently in this game, especially than it did in Final Fantasy VI. I'll explain that here in just a second, but don't buy the assault gun because we actually got this as a drop from the boss that we fought last time, so let's go ahead and equip some stuff. You do that by coming into the menu, you press triangle to get here, and then go into the equipment menu. Select your character, and then you have, in this game, only 1 slot for armor and 1 slot for accessories. In Final Fantasy VI, there was a lot, well, I guess just in most other Final Fantasy games before this, you often had a slot for head armor and a slot for body armor and a slot for like gauntlets or something, and then you'd have a couple other slots for accessories. In this game, it's simplified quite a bit, dare I say, dumbed down quite a bit. So you only have 1 weapon. You don't have 2 hands for, one for a shield and one for a sword, or dual wielding or anything like that. Just 1 equipment slot for weapons, armor, and accessories. So let's go ahead and grab the armor here, get Iron Bangle. Then you can press the R button, the R trigger, and switch over to the next character. We'll go ahead and equip the Iron Bangle on him as well as the assault gun. And we'll do the Iron Bangle for Tifa as well. Okay, so I'll come back to this menu here in just a second to explain some of what we're seeing here. But first, this will happen automatically. So you just press the cancel button. When you're done with that, it'll take you by itself automatically into the Materia menu. So Materia, like I mentioned last time, are these orbs, and they basically are the means by which you learn magic in the game. And this game works differently than, say, Final Fantasy VI. Some of you may be thinking, this seems pretty similar to how Magicite worked in Final Fantasy VI. The key difference is that when you used Magicite in Final Fantasy VI, the characters learned the spells over time. I mean, you equipped them with the Magicite and they could immediately use the abilities, but if you kept them equipped with it for long enough, they would eventually gain enough of the ability points to learn that magic inherently, and then they could get rid of the Magicite but still be able to use the magic that came with it. In this game, it doesn't work that way. The abilities travel with the materia. So if I unequip this lightning materia from Cloud by pressing triangle, he can now no longer use the bolt spell. So anyways, your weapon slots, so we have the Buster Sword as Cloud's weapon. Every weapon comes with a certain number of equipment slots here for materia. The Iron Bangle only has 1 slot, that armor that we put on, But other pieces of armor, you know, the more advanced they get throughout the game, you'll get more slots to choose from. So later on, you'll be able to equip a lot more than just 3 materia. And you can see a difference between these two here and this one. This one is kind of a single slot. It's all by itself. And some armor or weapons will have a certain number of these types of slots that are not connected to another one, like this one up here. See how these two are linked together? I'll show you how, you know, what significance that has in just a minute. But for now, let's equip Lightning again and Restore on Cloud. Now you might have noticed that as I equip and unequip stuff, it's changing my stats, my HP and my MP. So when I equip the Lightning Materia, look what it does to my MP and HP. It is decreasing my HP, but increasing my MP. If you look down here by the equip effect, you'll see that each materia has kind of a different, well, none of the materia I have right now have different effects. They all have exactly the same effect. They will take my strength down by 1, increase my magic by 1, decrease my max HP by 2%, and increase my max MP by 2%. So depending on the materia that you equip, it's going to kind of change your stats like that. For the most part, I would not worry about this at all. This game is pretty easy, and the changes that these make are fairly negligible. They're not really going to affect you that much. So, yeah, I mean, maybe in the late game, it's something that you can consider, but I'm telling you, it's really not something you have to bother yourself with, so don't even really worry about it. So let's equip all of our materia again. There we go, and switch to, oh, let's talk about this real quick before I switch over. So you see that the Restore materia has these 5 stars right here. Now, and underneath it has these letters AP and then a 0 value next to it. Under that it says to next level, 2500. So materia can level up over time. It's leveled up by gaining AP in battles. So at the end of a battle, you'll get a certain number of experience points, and you'll also get a certain number of AP or ability points, I'm assuming. And, you know, as you gain ability points, you will eventually level up the materia. With magic materia, which is any materia that's green like this, these are what's classified as magic materia. As you level them up, you'll basically get the next highest level of that spell. So unlike previous Final Fantasy games where you'd have to go to an item or a magic shop and get, like, you know, maybe the first cure spell, but in a later town you could buy, you know, Cura or Cure 2. And then in the late game, you'd be able to buy Curaga or Cure 3. In this game, the Restore materia that I have right now is basically all of those. You can see down here in the ability list that the Bolt 2 and Bolt 3 are grayed out. As I gain levels, gain these stars up here, eventually, like after the first level, Bolt 2 will be unlocked. After the next level, Bolt 3 will be unlocked, and so forth. So that's how you get the higher level magic in the game. So yeah, you have to get ability points. Looks like I already have 71 ability points with the ice spell. Actually, this lightning spell right here was the one I had equipped on Cloud before, so that already has some AP on it. So eventually we'll be leveling up these materia and learning the more advanced magic. Now these can be switched out at any time between any character that you want. So the characters themselves don't learn the magic like I mentioned earlier. They can be swapped between any character you want. So let's go ahead and equip Lightning on Barret and Lightning on Tifa. Now there's a little bit more I want to talk about with materia, but we'll get to that in just a second. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you in the equip menu. Okay, so on the Buster Sword here, you'll see down here it shows the number of slots it comes with. And these two are linked. I'm going to talk about what the significance of that is in just a minute. Underneath that, you see growth, normal. And you might be wondering, well, what does that mean? that means that when you have a weapon or a piece of armor that has normal growth, that means that the materia that are inserted into the slots of that piece of equipment will level up at the normal rate. Meaning that when you gain ability points, everything will go normally. You get 10 ability points go towards leveling up all of the materia on that piece of equipment. Now, there are some weapons in the game that have double materia growth or triple materia growth. And what that means is that any materia that are equipped on that weapon, in the slots on that weapon, will be increasing in level by either 2 or 3 times the amount, depending on which type of growth you have. So if you have a weapon that has triple materia growth and you get 10 AP after a battle, all of the materia equipped on that weapon will actually get 30 AP after the battle. So they'll grow at 3 times the rate, or level up at 3 times the rate. So that's something we're going to be putting to use a little bit later in the game. Okay, let's go upstairs here. Jeez, can't seem to walk. And no, I did not want to do that. Go this way. Okay, so this room is kind of like this is a kind of a classic thing they do in Final Fantasy games. They have like a room that serves as the tutorial room, the beginner's room, where they teach you all the basics of the game. First, let's go ahead and grab this blue materia on the ground. It says we received the all materia. And this guy's going to drop a box for us to pick up. It contains an ether. Ethers are magic point regenerative items. So, potions increase your AP, ethers increase your MP. Let's talk to this guy, and if you do, this is where you're going to be able to access all of the different tutorials in the game. You talk to people in here and you'll get tutorials. I did not mean to do that. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, so we just picked up that all materia. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to give it to Barrett here. So this materia is a different color. This is a blue materia. It might look purple, but it's blue. And there are 5 different types of materia in this game. There are magic materia, which are green. Then you have summon materia, which is red. And yellow materia, which is command materia. Then you have blue, which is support materia, and purple, which is independent materia. Magic materia is going to be all of your offensive magic and obviously your restore spells. Summon magic is going to be all of your summoned monsters like Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut, stuff like that. Yellow command materia is going to be certain abilities that came with classes in old Final Fantasy games, like thieves had the steal command, or like ninjas had the throw command, blue mages had enemy skills, and there was the sense command where you could, or I guess it was called scan, but where you could scan enemies and learn their weaknesses. These come in the form of yellow command materia in this game, so you'll get a materia for steal, a materia for throw, etc. Then you have support materia, which are blue. So the all materia is an example. Now we have this weapon slot, which is linked. The 2 slots are linked together. What this allows you to do is to pair 2 materia together into somewhat of a relationship. So we have the lightning materia here. If we equip in the second slot the all materia, that means that lightning is going to be cast on all enemies. Pretty sweet. And the way that the all materia works when you level it up is that with each level, you basically can use it more than once during battle. So right now we only have 1 star. That means you can only use lightning on all enemies 1 time in battle. But that will increase as we level up the all materia. Other support materia that are really interesting include the elemental effect materia. What that does is if you have lightning materia and you pair it with elemental effect, it means that your weapon will have a lightning effect when you attack. So an added effect to it, basically. And so say you have fire and you pair that with, this is say Cloud on the Buster Sword. You have fire, you pair it with elemental effect, that means his attacks will do fire damage as well. They also have the added effect materia, which is like if you pair that with poison or something like that, you'll have poison added effect. Or anything with a status effect, you put that together with the added effect materia, and it will put that status ailment or that status effect on your weapon when you attack. And then, let's see, the last kind of materia is independent materia. And these have kind of a wide variety of uses. A lot of them have to do with like status boosts and passive effects, like HP, MP, or speed up, or luck up, or magic or gil up, experience plus, things like that. They also have like enemy away or enemy lure materia, which makes the encounter rate increase or decrease. So we'll go over other materia types, a little bit later on in the series, but for now I think that's hopefully a decent enough explanation. One other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't really have any equipment right now that can demonstrate this. Well, I guess I can. This Iron Bangle that I have right now has a +2 for magic defense. In this version of the game, the 2012 re-release on Steam of Final Fantasy VII for PC, the magic defense stat actually works. This is the only version of the game in which it works. In every other version of Final Fantasy VII, magic defense is bugged. It doesn't work at all. It's completely useless. So if you're, trying to, maximize or optimize your equipment, and you're trying to get your magic defense factored into that, just don't even worry about it. Magic defense is completely bugged in every other version other than this. Okay, let's actually move on and do something. Looks like there's a whole bunch of people congregating out here. Let's talk to this guy up here. Far away is apparently one word. I suppose childhood friend when he says that he's referring to Cloud. Alright. Let's continue on to Sector 5, the Sector 5 reactor. Oh, remember this couple? They were like swooning over each other. Now they've had it. It's one day later, and they're pissed at each other. Shall you what? What the freak? If any of you can explain this to me, what happened? What did they do? Alright, they all hop in the train, talk to this guy again. Alright, let's hop on the train. Alright. I know some of you guys have mentioned in the comments for the last video that you like the original look of Final Fantasy VII better than this modded one, but I gotta iterate again how much I appreciate this version. I think it looks a lot better. I really, really like it. I like the models to look proportionate. I think it fits with the tone of the game a lot better. What is he doing? Barrett's going around, like, screaming at people, threatening them on this train. It's like, Are you trying to sabotage our mission before it even starts? Like, what are you doing? Like, pointing guns at people, threatening people? Like, that's crazy. Like, do you want to get caught? Luckily, there aren't any guards in here, and that guy's scared stiff, so... So it looks like there's going to be an ID scan on the train. And they're not going to be able to use their fake IDs to get past it anymore. So they're going to have to jump off this train before they get there. They're getting a little tighter with the security. We've only blown up one reactor. What happens when we get to, you know, the last one? I assume that's their plan, is to blow up every single reactor in the city. And what's up with doing it the very next day? Wouldn't you want to, like, time it out a little bit? You know, like, spread out your mission so that, I don't know. Seems a little reckless to do it, you know, the very next day. So this homeless guy is impressed that we keep talking to him. We're going to need to talk to him one more time. She wants him so bad. Uh-oh. Looks like we're going to have to abandon ship a little early. Alright, so in this section, we're going to have time limits, basically. It's going to give you like 15 seconds to get from one car to the next. If you don't, you get locked in and game over. But there are some people we need to talk to in order to acquire some items. So we're going to be cutting it pretty close. But first of all, we need to go back and talk to the homeless man over here. And he gives us a Phoenix down. Now run to the next room. Okay, the guy in the bottom left, the black guy with the glasses, that's who we want to talk to this time. And he'll give us an item. So let's run down this way, talk to him, and then say, yeah. He gives you a high potion, then get to the next car. Okay, I don't know why she does this. She just, like, punches the crap out of this old guy. Like, what was he doing? Was he sounding the alarm? Like, I don't understand. You hear that sound? That guy took something from us. Come up here and talk to him. Talk to him. Hurry up and talk to him. Say that's right. He gives you your potion back, or Phoenix down. He steals one or the other. This one, don't worry about talking to anybody. Just freaking run to the next car. Get out of the way. Okay. That's all the running we have to do in this section. Now it's time to get off this train. Let's run down here. Talk to Tifa after Barrett has his little dialogue here. Alright, she moves to the front of the car. You have to go talk to her again. It's kind of hard to do when you're jumping off of a high-speed train. I suppose he jumped onto a high-speed train earlier and was fine, so nothing to worry about. Okay, just a little bit further, and then we'll call the video for today. I know I had a lot to talk about in this episode. Most episodes will not be this long. I'm going to try and keep most episodes under 20 minutes. Now, one thing you can do is you can run backwards from here. It's going to take you like 10 different screens to get there, but eventually you'll go back and there will be some Shinra soldiers back there that you can fight. But I'm not going to do that. There's really no point. You'll have to come back up here eventually anyways. Alright, so it looks like we're blocked from going any further this way, so we need to check out this thing over here on the left. We're going to go down, that's what we're going to do. Barrett would be afraid of small spaces. He's kind of a big guy. Make sure you pick up this ether. Alright, and then down this ladder here. Okay, in this area here we can run into some enemies, but we have the all materia with Barrett, right? Good. We'll be able to take care of basically anyone with that setup. Okay, so the strategy for all the enemies in this area, they're pretty much all weak to lightning. Just attack and have Barrett use Bolt, and it'll attack everyone. Because we have the all materia equipped, so he should be able to kill them in one hit, I think. Not quite. One attack should do it. If that doesn't put her to sleep... Okay, good, it missed. Oh, it didn't kill him in one hit. Should have used lightning again. There we go. He's dead now. So that's basically how you take care of any of the enemies around here. Just use lightning. Okay, so we could go up that ladder there, but both of these paths lead to exactly the same place. So let's talk to Wedge here. So he tells us to go up this ladder, but honestly, go up either one. They both lead to exactly the same spot. I'll show you. It looks like he climbed off the ladder there. Let's talk to Jesse. What do you mean? Why on earth would you do something so stupid? Why would you do that? You tried to make what special? Like, what were you thinking? Anyways, this right here, that little duct, that leads to the other ladder. Whoops, don't mean to go in there. Pick up the potion and head down this one. Let's talk to Biggs here. What exactly were they doing here anyway? Like, what? Barrett said that they were going to go ahead and, like, get everything prepared or get everything ready, but I don't even know what that means. Like, what did they do? Okay, this is where I'm going to stop the video for today. Thanks for watching. I actually had the game in 1080p resolution today, so it should look even better than last time. More clean and more clear. Let me know if you guys see the difference. Alright, I'll see you next time. Peace.